Hey friends, Jerry Artisty here with one more video in this video series exploring abstract quick tips for viewing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you learned something to help you appreciate abstracts. So of course, we got to do that review. And you probably have these, if you've watched me before, you probably have these tucked away in your memory bank. And so review will be, well, hoping to jog your memory. If this is your first time in viewing, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. And this review will then serve as an introduction for you. So, the tips review. Tip number 1, there are no images. Don't look for one in an abstract painting. Tip number 2, question yourself. How does this painting make me feel? Number 3, what gets your attention? What captivates you? What do you like about the painting? Or what do you dislike? Tip number 4, what dominates the piece? Is there a big space, a big form, whatever, that dominates the piece? And do you like it? Tip number 5, is it energetic and positive and something that you'd like to have in your environment? Number 6, can you connect the title of the painting with the painting itself? Do you make that connection? Tip number 7, learn the story or interpretation if you possibly can. If you're at a gallery opening and the artist is there, perhaps you can talk to the artist and learn the story or interpretation behind a particular piece. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Tip number 8, don't let the wine sway you. Have you ever thought about the fact that many gallery openings, I should say, they serve wine? Well, what's the purpose behind that? You have a couple of wines, you get a little tipsy, you make an impulse purchase. But don't overindulge, because then that impulse purchase may become a white elephant, or the elephant in the room, I should put it that way. Number 9, it doesn't have to match the couch for you to like it, although that may be a positive thing if it does match the couch. Well, let's move on to tip number 10. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Tip number 10, say something nice. If you can't say anything nice, keep walking. In other words, we don't want to hear those negative comments about our hard work. And it is hard work, believe it or not. It's also fun, or it can be fun. But better yet, rather than keep walking, why not ask a question based on your new knowledge that you have of these 10 tips of exploring abstracts? Ask a question and attempt to use these quick tips, like I say, to understand the artist's vision, story, or interpretation behind his painting. Comments are usually welcome unless they're negative and downgrading. But you know, the most frequent comment that I have heard is, and I know that my fellow artists hear the same comment, is, oh, my 5-year-old could do that. Those who use that comment think they are being clever, when in fact it is an insult to us as artists. You know, another comment is that whether they speak it aloud or whatever, if they're thinking it, is that abstract artists just throw paint at the canvas. Well, we certainly do that at times, but that's not the entire process. The process is applying the paint with a brush or a palette knife or whatever, and creating a composition that is pleasing to the eye. Most artists spend many long hours and years perfecting their style. Rejection is certainly a part of being an artist, but negative comments still hurt. So keep that in mind before you make one of those negative comments. So again, tip number 10 is say something nice. If you can't, keep walking. Now, as you can see on this slide, I have where you can, if you want a PDF of these 10 tips, you can go to the link that I have there on the slide. And I'm going to leave this slide up just for a few seconds so that if you want to copy that link, you can do so. I will probably also create a post with this slide so that if you want to grab a PDF of the 10 tips, you can do so and won't be rushed. So we'll give it a few seconds so that you can possibly copy it down. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining, watching, listening to me rant on about these 10 tips and exploring abstracts. I truly appreciate your support and hope that you've enjoyed it. And please, as always, you're welcome to leave me a comment or ask me a question. Thanks again. Until the next time, this is Jerry Hardesty signing off.